here in just a second. So Joeharry versus Raven. This is a round of 16 matchup here between them. Let me ping them in case they're not around, or I didn't ping them earlier. But essentially what's going on here is there's a bit of news after we cast these games. So, let's go to the drafts. We have this is best of 3, by the way. We are in we did just do a best of 5 from the same bracket, but they're a little farther ahead. So Joeharry banned the Burgundians. Raven banned the Poles. Joe picked the Mongols and they were sniped from him. Raven picked the Berbers, they were sniped for him. So Joe will have the Teutons, the Dravidians, the Malay, and the Gujars, while Raven will have the Magyars, Hindustanis, Tatars, and the Byzantines. And as far as the maps are concerned, it is best of 3, like I said. Joe picks Battlegrounds, Raven picks Forest, and we have lanes. So it's a very land-heavy set coming our way. We're going to dive into it. Still in shock from the last sets, though. My goodness. Super, super in shock. So lanes will be game number 1. Let's dive in. Alright, capture age is firing up. Lanes, here we go. Raven will be here in the gray with the Magyars here, and then we'll have Dravidians for... Hold on. We're going to fix his name. His name is Joe. He has this profile that he's been playing under the whole time. This is what he signed up with. But still, it is not the same. Let's fix that, and let's make it a best of 3. Alright. Sorry. My apologies. We are back underway. So, 1700 bracket, round of 16, best of 3. Joeharry in purple, also known as Wart-O-Knight 8, is here in purple, and he will be playing with the Dravidians, a civ that we have seen picked a lot. A lot of people like the Dravidians a ton, and on closed maps and on water maps, I think they're great. On open maps, I think they are not going to be working out so well, of course. I think that's pretty universally shared opinion at this point. But some news to share on this set once we complete this set, and we'll go from there. Nonetheless, Raven here with the Magyars. We did not see any games from him up until this point. His previous opponent, who was the higher seeded opponent, basically wasn't able to play, and we had to provide an admin win to Raven. There's a lot more to that whole situation, but that's really all that matters. So we'll just sum it up nice and easily that way. But Raven will go up against Joe. We did see Joe play set previous to this one as well, obviously winning it to advance to this point. And let's see how things go here. And Raven going to go for the lamer boy. And I don't know if Joe knows. Yeah, he knows. 4 is gone. He definitely scouted that. So he will be lamed. He's also going to be lost a lot of HP on his own scout. And Joe will come forward and could counter lane. Is very viable, especially on this map. Joe bringing in his boar here, no problem. That boar is successfully lamed, and Joe is probably not very happy about this, but it is the situation that we find ourselves at. And he will turn to fight the scout, turn back around. This boar still up for grabs. Joe could just push his deer, make up for the food. Hard to say. Laming is permitted on this tournament. I don't understand why people get all upset about it. It is part of our game. It is something that can happen in the ranked play, so you might as well allow it in tournaments. This is actually going to provide a lot of food waste under the town center, but obviously he's not too worried about that. Just wants it to come in here, and Joe was housed for like a split second there, maybe a little longer than a split second. And boar number 3 for Raven going to be coming in here, so Joe will have to just push in the rest of his food to catch up, basically. Should be alright though. He's already on berries. He's taken his boar. He's taken the last of the goats. Might even be able to get back here in time to push that deer before it becomes a problem. No mill yet for Raven though. But we are seeing the laming come into play. It's really only the second or third time we've had it happen here as well. That goose, he's got a few more geese under here, and he'll add the barracks. Bloom coming in here, and then he's going to be pretty good on clicking up to the next age here at what looks like it will be a 20 pop situation. And he's got a little bit of idle time here. Actually drops another vill, so he's going to actually, rather than click up at 20 pop, make another vill. And he hasn't dropped off, so he has not clicked up yet. I'm really surprised he hasn't clicked it. Oh, he doesn't have the buildings. He doesn't have the buildings. That's why. He didn't have the mill. Just got the barracks up. He'll click up now. This is buying time for Joe to get back into this one here, as he will also be clicking up, and it will be a very competitive time, all things considered. Not but 10 seconds behind. And the walls are coming up here, it looks like. A little bit awkward, but should be able to wall up if he chooses to. No militia. We are shifting on to gold, and there is the militia. I think the Dravidians are just too good at the man-at-arms play, with how cheap the upgrades are for the barracks for them, that you have to consider it, especially in a map like this. He will be able to get a third, and he'll be able to get man-at-arm upgrade as soon as getting to the next stage. Getting that extra wood as well could provide a few additional buildings. Could be a very nice transition into archers and or a stable units yourself. And the wall up is getting there, so like he will opt to wall the whole way across. The militia might actually make it on without noticing here, as the scout will get bombarded with villagers, and the scout will actually go down. Let's see what he did see. He did see the barracks. He will drop a stable of his own. He's getting these things down. Man-at-arm upgrade is coming in. We do have the wood behind this. We do have the archery range behind this. And have to see if that comes into play quickly here, as the scout will come forward and will dive under the town center. We'll see the walls coming up, and the man-at-arms will head this way, as that scout is going to try to keep this open. Oh, he's going to try to fight the scout, so this will be open, and he's in with the man-at-arms. And now we see Raven off of berries here. For the most part, he's going to have 2 vills that are going to potentially be able to deal with this, but the scouts will have to deal with what is going on here first, which is never ideal, not being able to put up the pressure. And we will have archers behind this. Joe's house, though. He's forever housed right now, too. Not even building a house. Don't even know if he's realized yet. As the scouts get blocked out by the builders. It's always awkward. This is being repaired, so it is just costing some wood and some idle time for that vill. Scout will be going around seeing what's going on. We will have 1 spear coming forward, and we'll have some archers coming out. House is being built back here rather than along the front, so not looking to wall up here. Just looking to get some idle time in here. And this Scouts are just gonna go passing on by here. What damage would they find is the question. Spearman is here on the one bill, not the end of the world. Man-at-Arms still trying to get in here. That Archer not seeing these. This could be bad for Joe. He's gonna have a lot of exposed economy here. So you will notice this, I'm sure, as soon as he realizes that he's getting hit here. Archer goes down. Spearman being produced, though. That will give him some time. Blacksmith being added here. And Joe is going to bring these in under the town center. They're going to lose some HP. No walls just yet up in the north. Still trying to be as annoying as possible. These man-at-arms are getting hit up, though. The Goldvilles should be fine because we have a lot of spearmen here. Goldville is pathing in a terrible direction, though, and could potentially go down here because of it. He takes the hill, and the scouts will kill on all the spears, but the one that wasn't there. And now Joe's in trouble here. Joe is in trouble. The villagers will have to choose to fight. Economically, though, only one kill, and that was for Joe at the moment. He got a kill here with the scout. It's been a low HP one. These scouts not able to find a kill. Spearmen here, archers still here. I think he should wall up the wood line, send the spear elsewhere, but there'll be another archery range behind this one. We'll see archers and more scouts coming out. Blacksmith added behind this. Raven, very, very safe at home now. He's going to have some walls that could be hit, obviously, and he's going to chop through. I guess not as safe as I might have thought. However, going alright. Joe housed again. And we will see some spearmen. We'll see some archers, but again, he's housed, so nothing crazy at the moment. Spear out there seems to be in such a weird position, but might actually find some value here. We'll have to wait and see. +1 defense coming in right after fletching there, so that is quite nice. And the archers will move over to deal with that archer, no doubt. Could even deal with some of these scouts. Have to wait and see how that all works out. And yeah, decent exchange here, for sure. So Joe will be fine. He'll push this away. Even padded arch armor. So this is a very heavy feudal play now. And let's wait and see what happens for Raven as he's getting the farm numbers up to 11. 11 for both players. Horse collar though for Raven, no horse collar for Joe. So we all know that will come into play here in just a few minutes. Looks like it could potentially be already starting because some of these farms were planted down so early on. 2 scouts with full HP, there's a couple spears around. Villagers kind of exposed here. And that spear will go down in the front. Spearman here will get some good damage in, but looks like it will cost the life of a villager. Then we have archers and skirms battling it out here on the front. No padded archer armor yet for Raven, so Joe will take the better of that fight. But another range even going to come down here. Market coming down. Low HP Ville here. Scout here. No reaction yet. Sent the spear, I guess. Another building does go down. I think if Joe would have built some of these houses across the front, it would have been a little easier to defend that maybe, but obviously it takes a lot of effort to do, so. A lot of archers now. An eco for both players looking good. Joe did buy some food and sell 100 stone, as I'm surprised didn't buy or sell the wood and go buy more food as well, but buying food regardless. And Joe's gonna click up first. Joe's clicked up first here. archers coming forward here. A lot of them. Raven yet to click up, but should be able to soon. He bought a little bit of food just to try to supplement that uptime, and he should be able to get up. These archers shouldn't be able to find much of the way here in as the skirm archer combo will come over. And we'll probably push this away, or Joe will just micro it and try to fight this off. But there's a lot of skirms there, so I don't think we're going to see that. We'll see more houses behind. Joe insistently playing this open at the moment. Realized he has some archers and a spearman in his town center. Be double stable, and we're going to see bloodlines added here for the Magyar player. Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I haven't looked at the elo for these guys. I guess I should while we're sitting here. It does take me a second to pull it up, but Joe, it's like 1650, I think. 1632, he's peaked at 1638. And then Raven here is currently at 1407, peaked at 1516. So Raven a little bit lower, obviously. Castle Age is in though. We're gonna have crossbow and botkin, but a lot of skirmishers here. So not a fight that Joe's really gonna be able to take comfortably. Joe is abusing the market, selling wood, buying food, and he's even going to go for that quick university. So ballistics gonna be coming in quickly here. And elite skirm upgrade. Joe has the hill, so he'll take this fight, but as soon as it's flat ground, I don't know if he really wants to. I think if he can take as much of the fight before the upgrades come in, it could be huge. Ballistics is on the way in, so that will help out with this fight as well. We already see those numbers have been taken down quite significantly. Joe has not lost anything. Botkin does come in though, so that will become much worse of a fight, and elite skirm on its way as well. But elite skirm with only a few units, and ballistics about to come in. Joe is microing this like crazy as well, so he's happy to sit here and do that. And he will clean this up with only losing a couple units, really. And now a lot of kills there. The knights will only have +2 attack, no defensive upgrades, so need to see those come in pretty desperately. There are spears throughout the base here, a couple crossbows, town center going up. These scouts are really good in HP, but the crossbows and the scouts will be able to deal with them for the most part, but then the villagers will likely have to fight. Some villager kills likely going to come in here. And Joe's not really fighting with them. That spear gets in there, and the crossbows should be able to finish this off before too much more damage comes in with the villagers' help. Town center's up. Crossbows coming in, pikeman upgrade in. Got a couple of those on the field. He's producing a few more. We'll see a third town center from Joe as well. Knight numbers are up to 5. We actually have some cav archers in production. That was a misclick for sure. And Joe will be booming up here on 3 TCs to 1. He can maintain villager production here. He'll take the lead. Shouldn't be too hard as he's dropping more farms. We'll see squires coming in as well. Joe has bought a lot of food this game, but he's been selling a lot of res for it. It's just getting to be quite expensive, really. But he is getting the production out, I guess, that he wants. He's got villager production coming from all 3 town centers. He's adding farms, and he's going to actually wall off the back with stone walls. Why don't I just wall this off is my question, but... Knights with +1 coming in for defense, +2, And we have the skirmishers. I think that this is going to be such a bad position for Joe, because the military production's really ramping up here. And he's just going to dive the town center, it looks like. Guess not, guess he chose better than to do so. And we will see the longswords upgrade come in. Forward Siege Workshop incoming. Joe is not booming up well enough, I feel like. This attempt here could actually do just fine, as the Knights will dive under the town center and attack a farm. That's a little unfortunate, but Cav Archers are in. He's actually making Cav Archers, so this is a choice that he is choosing to go for. I think it's a fine choice. And Knights are doing damage. And this is the problem here, as the Forward Siege Workshop isn't even here yet, and Joe is only 7 villagers ahead. Joe has chopped through. He could send something down here to be annoying, but he has to do so. We have a lot of vills on stone, so potentially a forward castle going to be coming in. The Cav Archers, not enough of them in number here. Also, not the fight you want to take downhill from fully upgraded crossbows at this point, but it is what it is. No mangonel just yet. Joe again buying the food. Knights are gonna dive here, get some villager kills. That will even things up pretty heavily here. And the pikemen are not all fine damage here. If they run, and they did, so a lot less knights now, but they're spread out throughout the base. And I think Joe's dead here. He's got 3 TCs. Military numbers are better here for Joe, but just barely. And the production's there, 2 TCs behind this now, and a lot of eco kills here in this team. A lot of them. Mangonels will trade. No, better exchange for Joe there. All the knights are thrown though now. He's got 16 pikemen on the map that aren't really what you want to see now. Gonna continue producing more, but we have vills. We have lots of vills coming forward. Where is this castle going to go? Up here, perhaps? 2 mangonels. Cav Archer's gonna eat a hit. Mango pops out. Won't get the kill, but the Cav Archers might be able to finish that off, and will do so. Will this mangonel survive? It will. Oh boy, this castle. This castle. Could be rough, could be bad. The knights are diving though on the mangonel, so he'll be fine here. And now he's gonna have a castle in his face. There's enough vills here. There's no mangonels out for Joe. Or is there? No, he's got 1 in production. That's it. So he'll be just fine. That mango will go down. But this castle is going up, and Joe will lose some military in the process as well. He is killing a few vills, but at this point, Raven has more vills as Joe's been idling more. And a lot of military going to go down here, and a lot of farms now idled, and the knights will dive in. Knights have +2 now. The pikemen are nowhere to be seen. He's got 3 in production. Joe is going to have to run his economy here. And villagers are dying. Magyar Hussar being added in, being sent this way as that villager got deleted, it looked like. Or maybe the town center shot it. Either way. Magyar Hussar will find a kill. Joe is still alive, but he's in a lot of trouble here now. Cav Archer numbers are up to 8 over here. Knights will run around this way. Could find this, could do a lot of damage here. Mangonel on this side will end up going for that, I'm sure. Knights and Mangonels versus and crossbows over here. Is there enough with +2 to deal with this? Don't think so. As soon as these crossbow numbers start to go down, there's a lot of skirms here, and the Mangonel. The Mangonel killing his own units too. That is painful. All of those archers going down there. Obviously, all the knights will die as well, but that was a terrible friendly fire this time. I guess it only got 1 kill, but the HP was so low on those because of that. That was just so rough. Cav archer numbers continue to grow. The push is still alive. Castle is up. Shooting down the town center here. And he's going to start trying to kill another one. Joe will go for another siege workshop. What's up, Knight? 2 more units die. Raven goes into light cav, so he looks to have that going for him as well. And then we see this town center that's still producing vills here. It's going to be going down. Behind us, we haven't looked at this, but we do have 3 town centers now, and we see the stables out here on this side. Likely just going to feed in some light cav over here. I did text you. I messaged you. Right after you sent me that message today night. I told you that I was casting. I gave you like 10-minute warning. I will be casting another set this evening if you're interested. This set is... Huh? Yeah, just casting. Well, yeah, I mean, I didn't say what set I was going to be casting. Didn't know you were specifically interested in casting Joe's set. You never said so. Or maybe you did and I forgot. Either way, you will survive. There will be another day, I promise. Imperial Age behind this here for Raven. Joe has Imperial Age on the mind, but he's going to lose some more vills here. He's been in a lot of trouble. Military for him is just a lot worse off. Right now it's a lot of pikemen. And he's going up against cav archers mainly at the moment. Imp will be clicked though. The cav archers shoot at these vills will find themselves getting mangonels thrown at them. A lot of the cav archers going to go down here. A lot of the cav archers. Oh, this is rough. That's not what you would have happen there. Light cav numbers though. Krebs will be out. There's no castle here for Joe, nor does he have a villager on stone. Where is Joe's stone? Did he sell it all? He must have sold it all, I guess. Or maybe it was just because all the town centers being added. Some stone out there. But Joe needs siege. He'll have to go chemistry to get it. Behind this, we will see a university added here as well. As the skirmishers are going to deal with the few pikemen and some villagers here. Cav archers being annoying still. And the Imperial Age will be in very soon. A lot of crossbows. 10 crossbows, 15 pikemen, and 1 skirmisher, 3 mangonels though. It's still awkward here, right? Joe has limited resources here. Luckily, he was able to sneak out over here. But still limited resources, and I imagine we're going to see Treb. Let's start trebbing things down here. Let's see more archery ranges. Let's see a knight and some light cav come forward this way. Maybe going to try to raid. And nice use of masonry coming in here, nice and quick, as Joe saw the Imperial Age come. And we will have Parthian tactics coming in. I mean, Raven has a killer economy behind this, and it's been untouched for predominantly the last 30 minutes of the game. Halberdier being teched into, and yet another town center going to be trebbed down here. The blacksmith will fall shortly as well, and that will actually mean that plate mail armor will not come in. Mangonel v Mangonel. Not great. No plate mail armor. We'll have Parthian coming in already, Bracer, Chemistry, and then Cavalier gonna be coming in behind this as well. So, as the economy looks to expand over there though, we already have stables set up. We've got super open here if there is some sort of a counter though. And Town Center number 2 was taken out here. Castle went up over here, actually. I didn't even see this. So Castle did go up. So there are trebs going to be coming out here for Joe. Has been pushed back into quite an awkward position. And heavy Cav Archer upgrade coming in now. And still so many resources in the bank here. Chemistry will finish. These Cav Archers will really only be missing the unique tech. So recurve bow. But I think he could actually afford that here very shortly. If recurve bow comes in, these will be the Cav Archers in the game. And it wouldn't surprise me to see that. As the Knights and the Light Cav with some Cav Archers, some heavy Cav Archers in tow, will move in here. And this is a problem. This is a problem. These Cav Archers already have 15 kills and more to come, as this will be quite the issue. And the Trebs will just be trading off against the Trebs. No, Mangonels will be trading off against the Trebs. Arbalest upgrade in for Joe, so he's going to take the fight against the Cav Archers. Does have somewhat of a hill. Has a lot of idols though right now. As Light Cav going work over here, as this one has 8 kills. All the Trebs go down here, but Joe is in a bit of trouble. And we see a big raid on Joe here. 140 bills to below 85 now. Hotsar upgrade incoming. That Hotsar will dive here and could find the kill here. I guess going after the Mangonel. The Cav Archers are just going to tank some shots here as well. A nice split there. I think that Joe is dying though. He has not been able to push back. He has not been able to kill this castle. It's fully upgraded, or almost fully upgraded Magyar Hussar, and yeah, the GG will come in. The Raven takes set game number 1. Sorry. Set game number 1. To the draft. Alright, so we will go to Joe's home map, which will be Battlegrounds next. And we saw a Dravidian defeat against a Magyar victory. So let me load up into game number 2 here. Alright, that's odd. Hold on a second, guys. 1 second. Phone call. Not AFK. Sorry. Phone call of importance. My apologies, guys. Unprofessional. Not not a full-time streamer here. So while we have game number 2 loading up, this is Battlegrounds. This is Joe's home map. He's down one game currently. Raven will go with the Byzantines. A very interesting civ for this map. Joe with the Teutons map or civ we've seen picked here quite a bit, which is not too surprising. It's a good civ. Cheap farms makes it easy to get up, right? The extra melee armor also coming into play. Very nice. So sorry, Raven was here. Thanks for dropping by, Raven. I hope that you were still here. I don't know what happened there for your internet, but hopefully all is well. As far as the phone call goes, funny story. Lowe's bought us. We finally bought a new oven. We've needed one for a very long time. We finally bought one. Lowe's delivered it via a third-party delivery company, but it was through Lowe's, and so they delivered it to us. We accepted the delivery. It sat there, and then my wife got home, and then quickly, within an hour, realized that something was messed up on it. Basically the back paneling area where you have like the dials for the heat and the control panel and the clock and all that. Basically that was not attached to the oven properly, and you could literally wiggle like the whole top upper control area of the oven. So we called in because, these things are expensive, right? I mean, the one we bought was like $750, which is crazy, but, you know, that's pretty much around the ballpark where they all are nowadays, which is just crazy. At least in my area. That was actually one of the cheaper ones. So, we had to buy it. We didn't want to buy it. We needed one for a long time. Bought it, got it here, found out there was an issue with it, called Lowe's. Lowe's told us that they do not do exchanges, so they were not going to, or they wouldn't do exchanges after 48 hours. So we had to call them quickly. We got on the horn with them. They caught us, we got everything situated the way they wanted us to do it, which meant they had to come back and pick the oven up today, which they did earlier. And then we have to then wait for a refund through Lowe's, buy another oven, and then they'll bring that one out. And this woman just called. She's the operating manager or whatever for the third-party vendor that they used for the delivery system. And she asked why this was the situation and what was going on, etc., etc. I had to explain the situation to her, and she was like, yeah, Lowe's wants to do it the way Lowe's wants to do it, through the way they have everything set up. I'm like, yeah, it's really unfortunate. She's like, it's just crazy because, they sent 2 guys out twice now, and then we're going to end up having them back out again, probably on Friday, to drop off another new range rather than just fix the small issue that we had with the one that we just bought. Terrible. Terrible. And I mean, it's something that I potentially could have fixed myself, but for $750, it seems a bit excessive for me to have to fix something that is that expensive after we didn't even have it for a day. Didn't even really get to, see it in its final position because I didn't even bother moving it, is what was the point, right? So, sorry, I do apologize for the delay. And in the meantime here, we're going to see a mill here for Raven in the middle. Joe, however, not at home. He will be running out of his herdables shortly, so he's going to find a few more here, luckily for him. And I think that should be the last of the herdables. No, Joe actually has a few over here that I think are his starting ones. He has not grabbed 4 of them, in fact. It's just very awkward scouting. Let's take a quick look at his scouting. Yeah, so he just hasn't gone to the north here. He's got 2 here and 2 here. So he'll find those as well. And still will have plenty of food as he's already on his way to the next stage, mind you. He scouted the whole middle. So he was definitely counting on that. And then we have Raven here, who did not build the mill at home, is out from his base here, and got a good bit of scouting in for himself. But Joe will still have 3, maybe 500 food left in herdable. Still has 2 things of hunt at home. He'll drop his barracks right in front of the town center there. And we see Raven in the middle. He's also on his way up a little bit farther behind. I think he's going to try to wall this up, or at least wall to the town center. And then he's got a great mill position in between all of these and the 2 ostriches he had at home. So, very nice position. Should be just fine. Shouldn't be much of an issue. And we'll see what happens here. So, we have villagers, or we have scouts meeting, and Joe will take this fight happily. He's got the hill. He's going to be up first, and he will kill this scout essentially for free, and then we'll see the stable come down here. And I don't think he can even get away with this scout. I don't even think there'll be enough time. It's going to be pretty close. Downhill hits counting for the extra damage here. Scout will be able to run, but it's likely that that is going to be taken out there. Any subtle turns and stuff will slow it down. We do have a stable coming up here. Barracks with some spearmen coming out. And it's going to be close. He could garrison the town center. He might be able to take a lot of HP off of Joe's. Joe will have to react. He is doing so. This guy is idle time. We'll end up with his scout over here forward, though. It's actually good because he didn't know where his opponent's base was until just now, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this is the first glance at his base that he's gotten. So, we'll see the walls. I'm guessing he's going to assume that this is going to be pretty close up. And it is going to be nicely walled off here. This is a very nice wall up area here. And their problem, though, a lot of villas exposed here. Farms already coming down for both. Joe will be getting horse collar. He already has double vid axe, and we already have both of those upgrades for Raven here. So things will progress, and Town Watch even going to come in. Town Watch is so nice. But wide open here, so could be somewhat of an issue. Let's wait and see. The spearmen duking it out here, and it looks like it's going to be won by Raven. Joe will have to pull back. This has all been spotted. These scouts came into this side. And I think this is fully walled here. I don't think there's any holes. So he should be fine with this. He's walled up. He's got a better position there. A lot of vills going forward, and Raven very happy to just stay in the middle here. Mill another patch of these ostrich, and he's had plenty of food coming in from all of them in this game. And that original scout will finally be taken out. This will kind of put a target here, but there are some spearmen in defense already. And where are the scouts at? There are no scouts for Raven, so he's lost all of his scouts. He's just going to play spearman defense. Probably assuming his opponent is walled up at home as well. And it's likely he won't be able to find any damage. Blacksmith, some more houses, some more cheap Teuton farms coming into play here. The food eco is looking better at the moment for Joe. That can always turn around quickly. I guess we say this, that I say the food looks better, but all things considered, they have the same amount on food, and the hunt does come in a little bit faster. So, and a lot of spears here for Joe as well. So a lot of production. Gonna go for foraging. He could find great value here. There's an archery range coming for Raven, though. The fight will be taken. The spearmen numbers are going to increase all over the place, and we have an archer here, but it will get rushed down very quickly. So, no villagers dying here. It's a really awkward position for both players. But I think that Joe has got the better position here. So Raven has been taking all these resources, not spending the resources, although the farm numbers are pretty cheap. So wheelbarrow coming in for Raven now, as that spearman is going to get a kill. He'll kill a vill. The archer's here now, though, and along with the spears, so that should evade the threat. But the scouts are here still, and there's only 2 spears. They are going to come in. Joe's paying attention, though. He should be fine. And we see an even bigger wall off over here, as Raven looks to control more of his position on the map. Meanwhile, an archery range here at home for Joe. Which is interesting, he's going to add the archery range himself. I don't know. But he's going for it. We'll see. Fletching and then padded archer armor are going to be coming in here for Raven. Lots of production here from both players. A lot of things to look out for as well here. And more walls for Raven. The fight here is going to go better for Joe. The archers will get cleaned up. And all things considered, the skirmishers are going to pay off here, as they will be able to deal with the archers and the spearmen at no problem. Population-wise, it is fairly close at the moment. Just look at the Tootin' Food Eco. There's 14 farms here. A lot of villas have gone down. 2 villas, in fact. And these are walking a very long way to drop off this food. And a lot of military has been focused in this area just to try to keep these alive. Whereas Joe has all of his food eco right here on 22 farms, adding a market now. He should be up to the next age very quickly. Scout here for Raven, going to try to find some value. Didn't wait for his friends though, so Joe could react in time. I don't know if he's going to though, as this Vil continues to path farther and farther away. He does, but it's 3 scouts now, and 1 Vil will get taken out there. But Eco KD still in favor of Raven. He does get all those Vils back home. His food economy at home is not bad on the farms. Joe playing this wide open here, and he will get a few houses down over here, so the scouts at least won't get into the economy here. And the spears will get cleaned up quickly. So Joe will be able to come back and defend this. He's on his way to the Castle Age faster, and by over a minute faster at this point. That will make things a lot more difficult for Raven, as he's yet to click up to the next age here. He's double mining camp the gold in the back, so he's very hopeful to stay on gold. He can click up now. Likely he will. The scouts will take a better exchange here for Joe, as the stables will be found. And that will likely tip Raven off that it will be double stable knights, but and he has to get there first. He is getting +1 defense himself. Joe just got that. Bloodlines coming in for Joe. No bloodlines for Byzantines though. Stable on the way up here. So will be 2 stables for both. Joe dropping a town center right on the edge here on that gold. Not a big fan, but I mean, it is nice he's getting another town center down, and it will be able to secure the gold. So not the end of the world, obviously. We are going to see the bowsaw upgrade coming in for him as well. He will be on double stable knights. Has that additional melee armor already. It is 2+2. So we'll have to wait and see how that all works out. But melee armor goes a long way. If you can keep production up and take better fights the whole time, the whole game really. We are going to have Castle Age here in a moment for Raven, though he could go into the camels. And wouldn't be too surprised to see that, as he did go for the extra stable. And the Byzantine camels are cheaper. They are weaker, but they are also pretty cheap. So, and will be Byzantine camels. Joe will opt for a 3rd town center here on the stone and some farms as well. And the camels have been seen. The knights are going to try to sneak around here, but there are buildings about. And I don't know if there's a hole here. Kinda doubt it, but if they were to get in, that could be pretty devastating here. Knight numbers are getting up there. Let's see if he can get in here. He could attack this house, maybe even a couple of these, and get some downhill hits. Oh wait, is there a hole? Oh, there's a hole! I didn't even see it. That's actually huge. The knights will show up, and Eco will be going down here. Fight on the front, obviously in favor of Raven here, but as villagers will be going down and town centers are being built in the center of the map, that's quite the deficit of vills that you didn't want to see happen here. As more villagers go down, 8 to 1 Eco KD now, and another one pops in here, so another one will go down. And behind this, we have a lot of spearmen, and more spearmen in production. So likely, we will see, yeah, more barracks, as he's already up to 2. We'd love to see a wall up here, but not the end of the world there. And the knights are still under here, ended up with 10 villager kills. We'll get another one, so 11 to 1 Eco KD before that's cleaned up. And now we have +1 plus pikemen coming in. And the spearmen will have +1 attack already. And then we will see the pikeman upgrade, so that will help out a ton. Raven will now switch into crossbows behind this, so both players kind of playing a little bit of chess match. Obviously, kind of knowing what's going on, and he sees it now, so he'll wall that up. Was quite the losses, but it did give him time to get those 3 town centers up in the middle under very little contest. So, not the end of the world. Already have a monastery here, more houses coming up, and wheelbarrow now coming in for Joe as he is housed. Getting more houses up is going to be important, of course, but economically he's got quite the lead. And we have wheelbarrow. We have a monk coming out. There are a few relics on the map. Obviously something to contest. We saw a lot of upgrades flying in. Raven has spent a ton of resources on those upgrades. Pikeman has yet to be shown, and we will see a 4th town center over here for Joe now, so he is looking to just have this economy go as good as it can here. And he'll get +2 on the pikeman now. It's a very, very nice build. He's got a lot of villagers, obviously. Not pushing, though, could become somewhat of a problem. Just have to wait and see. Camels do not have bloodlines, so these pikemen and the town center even will do significantly good damage here. So we'll have to pay attention to that. And crossbow numbers only up to 5? Only got 1 range? Yeah, so it's going to be a minute for the crossbows to really pick up the numbers, right? So wait and see what happens. Joe is going to be able to produce out of all these. He has 34 farms, soon to be 40 farms, which is just crazy. And he actually just bought 300 stone. We could go for the stone. 1 relic on its way back in, another monk on its way over. And we'll see how everything shakes out here. But we have a huge palisade wall over here for Raven, so he wants to try to secure this whole corner. Again, I don't really know how much worth that's going to provide, but he is going to have at least a few seconds to figure things out if that is going to happen. We'll have iron casting coming in, but we have a forward coming. Where are the pikemen? Here comes the pikemen. Here comes a lot of villagers. And this should go up. No guarantees, of course. A lot of vills being tossed away here because of this. Spent 30 vills, though. The crossbows really can't take this fight very well with the knights on top of them, the pikemen on top of them. Castle will go up, and then more things will die here as the military is just going down quickly. And yeah, that is a rough fight indeed. All on Garrison the relics. Standard victory is on. There's only 2 relics. He says, okay. The pikemen dive in here. We'll finish off the crossbows. We will see a lumber camp here. Let's see some more farms. We're on to the stone. Gold will become somewhat of an issue very soon for Joe. 1700, I guess not as soon as I had thought, but he just continues the farm expansion here. His town center will be under threat, obviously. Behind this, though, the eco is pretty rough for Raven. He's only been on 3 TCs, and not nearly for as long as Joe has been, so he will be happy to try to deal with this as the pikemen will come forward. We will see a lot of wood sold and food purchased, and because he's going to try to go with the Imperial Age, I guess? Have to wait and see. Just have to wait and see. Joe gonna move out for a town center on that gold. He does have the relics though, so gold not as huge of a concern. There is still some gold over here that's yet to be taken. He's still got gold at home. He's gonna move out and take this gold. This gold is under contest right now, and soon he will have access to that. Joe does add fletching to make this a little bit faster. We'll send knights around this way to try to do some raiding. And we have handcart coming in, but we have Imperial Age coming in here for Joe. So he's looking to get to the final age here and get some work done. These knights looking to find damage. Lots of resources coming in here for both players, but Joe already clicked the Imperial Age. Let's look at these farms. He's up to 55 farms here. Conversion comes in on that night, but Joe going to go very heavily into the Spearman line now. Imperial Age has been clicked. We'll be about a minute behind, a little over a minute behind here. And we'll be full barracks coming up behind this and a castle coming up forward here. So we'll be 2 castles. Thumb Ring will likely finish, but hard to say. This map has turned into a very interesting position where how players move out across it. I've really enjoyed how the games have really diversified over the last few years that we've seen it. And this castle has been noticed, and I don't think that it's going to go up. Joe's going to have to pull Vills. No question, will pull the Vills. Mangonels with the pikemen though might be able to do enough here. Needs to protect the Mangonels as Joe will again sacrifice villagers and try to get this up. The knights will dive here as well, so pretty good chances he's going to get it up. Obviously it's going to be costly, however he really does want that one up. He's going to try to get it up, and it looks like it will go up again though at quite a costly measure of vills here. Joe does have the villagers to spare though, so even though it doesn't go up right now, there's a good chance it will go up in the near future. Especially if that Mangonel comes forward, could really seal the deal. 1 trebuchet in production though, and then Imp will be in shortly here. Mangonels will clear archers quickly, as we see exactly what's happening. Joe will need to send more vills here. He's got the pikemen near. Treb will start trebbing things down here as well. And a lot more vills showing up, so that will go up. Camels will fall to the pikemen. Even the rest of the crossbows there are gonna go down here, it looks like the pikemen. And the Treb is under attack here and will likely go down. Costly, but not that costly. Treb's now out of 2 castles here compared to only the 1. And a lot of resources being sold and bought at the market here. Conscription, we're going to see another treb come out. Military production behind this is pretty good. Joe cannot afford Halb at the moment, however. But the castle is being trebbed down here. There is one treb coming. There will be another one out, and then we'll see a few more trebs behind that as well. So this is going to start to become a very costly endeavor to keep this up, especially now that we're up to 2 trebs. We do have the Byzantines though, so it'll be harder and harder for that castle to stay up, but it also has more HP than any other civ in the game, so that is quite helpful. Meanwhile, Joe is having to invest into repairing his own castle, but soon it'll be 4 trebs, and that Byzantine castle will be having issues staying up. But there's a lot of arbalest behind this for Raven now, as he's got a lot of military here, and the Halb's just not that great. Got a little bit of raids going on over here that are being dealt with, but still, that castle getting close to going down here. Joe will lose his 2, it looks like, but he might be able to save it. Nope. Nope, he will have 1 castle though. Masonry will be in. And we'll make that a little bit easier situation now. We do have the Halberdier coming in. A lot of numbers. Over here they're cleaning things up. The Trebs versus Treb fight. Not even Trebs versus Trebs, he's attacking the monster. This castle likely to go down as well, so not likely to see any Teutonic Knights here. Trebs are here, they could be saved. And all the vills coming out here, as we see a few raids in the back here, not really accomplishing a whole lot. And going up for gold. I guess Raven's out of gold here. Gold is slim on the map, right? So that is somewhat of a problem. Treb v Trebs now. And the Halb are going to march in. There are arbalests here. And I think he did not patrol them, so it makes it even more difficult. 2 Trebs down here. Kill the mining camp. Mangonel takes a shot at some vills. Things are getting dicey here in the middle, of course. The Onager attack has come in. So Onager will deal with the arbalest just fine, and this Treb likely to just go down here. Those Halbs. Joe does seem like he's quite far ahead here, especially in the population game, as he is raiding everywhere. And he is looking to try to take this, but oh, this is the town center from the Byzantine player, so Raven actually ends up getting that gold. I thought it was Joe's town center when I first looked at it. Trebs will shift over there though, and this will not last long. There are 34 vills over there, so could be somewhat problematic. Onager over here, gonna try to get some good shots off, not going to be able to do so. And it looks like there's somewhat of a pushback here, as Raven, not dead, has the gold. He's holding his own position here. He's got more population. And we see arbalests trying to take out trebuchets. Not the greatest use of arbalests, but, you know, trying to save the town center, which inevitably is going to go down. But we're gonna have 30, 40, 36 vills, 37 vills here. And then we are going to have an Onager shot. Nice Onager shot. Onager will go down though. Population still very close. 1 Treb does go down. The Arbs are clearing up a lot of numbers here. And Raven knows he needs the gold, so he's going to stay here with those mining camps. The Halbs and the Knights do dive quite deep here. And the game is over, but it was on Relic victory, folks. Relic victory. The game was still very close. The players reached out, and long story short, we have a Relic victory is not part of the game. Both players made their cases, said it was a close game, and it did turn out to be a close game. So we move on to the re. So game 2 from the top. No standard victory. We see Joe with the Teutons again here in purple, and we have Raven here with the Byzantines. A rematch on the same map because of a standard victory problem. Not ideal. And that's not all the craziness that happens with this series. So stay tuned. You're gonna see more. Things will blow your mind potentially. Who knows? It was a great game, and I do agree. It was a very close game, and Relic Victory should not have been on. So I made them do it again. They asked actually, and I told them yes, it was a re. Because standard victory is not situation here. If we played by standard victory rules, I mean, legitimately, we could actually have to wait for wonder victories on a map like Arena Cove or Water Arena. Like, I don't want to have to deal with that. So we rematch. Same civs. Ravens still up 1-0 because the last game ultimately ends up not counting. So Joe and Raven both agreed that they would be a re. They actually messaged me and basically were like, "We think it's a re. It was a close game. Do we re or do we stick to what happened?" And I told them to re, and it was fun again. Yeah, I mean, this has been a really close set. I mean, game 1, good game. Game 2, good game. Game 2 repeated, to be determined. But obviously, with how close the set was, how close the games were, I mean, having to re here, not a problem. So, unfortunately, there's not really much more to talk about with the matchup and all of that. So, how are you guys doing today? How is everyone doing? Other than I know Knight's already mad because he was gonna try to cast with me, but yeah, didn't happen. I didn't know he wanted to cast this set. You know, a fun time. Otherwise, how is everything for everyone? Hope everyone is doing well. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the tournament as well. We're on the downward slope. Things are swinging into the later stages here of this bracket. And then I already casted one of the semifinals from the 1300 bracket. And I will be casting the other semifinal this evening. Around 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, my time, which is like, in what, 4.5 hours? No, 5.5 hours. Sorry, I can't do math. Roughly. So, I have some things to do between the end of this set and the beginning of that set, of course, but once we get done with the semifinal for that set, we'll find out who faces up against who in the finale of the 1300 bracket. This bracket here, we have no more sets turned in, actually. I don't think so, anyways. Because we're up to the quarterfinals for the most part. Alright, the previous set we just casted was the quarterfinals. The first one turned in from that. So we have... Now, all I have left after this set, excuse me, is the other semifinals between Captain Nipples the Fourth and Sambell 49. Joe, going for that barracks. Raven not going to the middle this time for the mill. Or no, he already went out for the mill. Sorry, I missed that while I was talking. Long ranging those deer, perhaps a little bit too long, but we'll be getting those resources in. We'll see barracks in the back here for him, and he's going to wall up this side. Obviously starting with a lot more of an open map, a little bit farther away from the edge here. Joe going to go to gold. I don't know if we saw Joe go to gold this early last game, so maybe he's going, yeah, man-at-arms. He will go man-at-arms. So he will alter his strategy of scouts, go into the man-at-arms route. He has clicked to the next stage. We do see Raven not clicking, and he's going to be up much later, but he will have a lot of food. I wonder if he moves his villagers back as soon as he sees that his opponent is up. There looks like, is that a hole between there? I don't think so. But maybe it is. It's hard to tell sometimes, but see if he's on his way up now, what he goes for at a much later population. The militia. Only two, here comes the third. Came forward and they did see this. Do these villagers run now is the question. Wouldn't surprise me if they do. Man-at-arms, horse collar, and double bit axe all coming in here. This deer has been taken, all the meat from it, and he will now need to run. And he's running already with those, and with, oh no, he's turned to fight, and man-at-arms has come in, so one vill will clearly die here, no question. Could even be a second, oh, it might even be a third if he's not careful. Can easily block this one. And the men-at-arms are faster, so lots of villagers dying here. The walls over here, not that spectacular. Another vill, though, will go down, so 3 out of the 4 vills will have gone down here. Oh, is he going to save it? No, he's not going to. He will lose his scout in the process, and a lot of HP, almost the man-at-arms life. Now the open area in the back is going to be somewhat of a problem. And he's just going to opt to wall in the wood line, it looks like. We'll see have a forward stable here. And he will have to drop off the food momentarily. Gonna just go back to hunting in the middle. Interesting. So the wood line will be safe. The walls are up. This gold is on the other side of the wall. Joe behind this just opting to go onto more farms. No stable or anything for him. Stable though here from Raven as he will also drop a range. I think he's probably going to have to send things back, but I really think he wants to send things forward here. You know, he might just wait for the range. It's a viable option. Scouts are forward. Range at home here as Raven gets double bit axe. House is getting a lot of damage right now. Always repair that though. And Joe opting to wall up this time. Will it be in time is the question mark. I don't think it's going to be. It looks like these are going to be in. He should see this though and should immediately want to pull over his military. We'll garrison the spearmen. I guess there's one in the back. We'll send them both over here, it looks like. Where does it? Oh, there it is. Okay, I was like, where did it go? Some more spearmen here. Should be able to defend this. The walls are coming up nice and tightly walled up here. Joe shouldn't take any damage. The militia, we saw one go down. One archer has gotten a kill here and then gone down. And he's just going to have to hit and run this one all day long. But should be able to deal with that just fine. We should see a garrison here. And that will deal with that. Did he delete that one? Joe might have deleted that one. Didn't want to give his opponent the kill. Horse color now coming in behind this for Raven. Joe almost fully walled up. Spearman blocking the entrance on the opposite side. We see 19 farms already. We have 4 scouts here forward, and we're going to see a few archers here for Raven, so he's going to be pretty happy with that position, I imagine. Full map control, going to be on Wheelbarrow. He's lost a few villager units, but Joe has had too much idle time, so turns out to be fairly even. Spearman being sent to deal with this. Joe has added a stable himself, and he will be going into scouts himself, and then we'll see a blacksmith at the very back. Wheelbarrow now on its way for Joe here. Population even at the moment. Joe housed as well. You got that house up in the back. My apologies there. Nonetheless, we have blacksmith here. We have the big walls potentially coming up here. Getting in for Raven, so he's looking to stay safe as possible. And, I mean, it's going to be a market that's not going to go up. Joe will just pull back from that. Likely, he's just going to take this fight, though, in a moment. Or he's going to want to. Is he going to dive? Is Raven going to try to dive this? No. Archer won't find a chance to get any damage in. Bloodlines is on its way in now. 5 scouts, he should be able to take this here. +1 is in. Bloodlines will be in momentarily. Fletching on its way. Joe is just going to let him in here, and I think that's just to simply try to trap the army. And the archers coming forward will kind of give way to that situation. And the spearmen will have to go try to find the scouts and do damage there. Economically, 1 villager has gone down. More to follow here, as the scouts are just out of position. But the scouts for Raven taking a lot of damage here and really not getting a lot done. Second part of this fight. So, ends up being 2 villager kills. That looks like that's all it's going to be. And Joe's clicked up to Castle Age, while behind this, Raven's not on gold, nor does he have the food right now behind this. He's invested a lot into this age. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. But a lot of scouts coming forward here. This is still open on the front with the gold. Yep, there's a hole here between the house and the palisade. Otherwise, it's really hard to stay up here. Just on the hills. Could be one. I don't think there is one, but could be. And Joe will run into this and ultimately just turn and run. Just a spearman moving out and about, looking to see what's going to happen. But Joe is going to be into the Castle Age significantly faster, and he will add archer armor. Then go into skirm. Another archery range behind this, so skirm is going to potentially be the right call here. Castle Age, though, coming in quick, and Raven still not clicked. So he will be a full Castle Age time behind, which is like 2 minutes 30 seconds or whatever. Two minutes 38 seconds. So Joe will have a chance to catch up in the villagers. A lot of idle time for Joe. That's a terrible fight. Lots of HP lost there. Joe again with the town centers on the hill here near his base, looking to keep his eco safer at home. We are going to get heavy plow and bow saw coming in here. And again, we see infantry upgrades, and we see... Nope, sorry. Scale barding armor coming in. Now we see scale mail armor coming in. Needs more towers. What's up, bitch? Welcome back, by the way. Hopefully you are enjoying the games. I know there's been a ton of them, so... I know there's been a lot of great games, a lot of competitive games. It's been very enjoyable. I think the draft system that we implemented has really come a long way for the competition here. So, to prepare a map that you guaranteedly get to play on is very nice. Very nice indeed. Skirmishers will take a fight here, but they're not elite skirm. They only have +1/+1. So obviously not ideal. But Joe has caught up with the villagers now with the 3 TCs. Will likely gain a lead here, and he will shift into 3 range production. Behind this, we are going to see crossbow and botkin come in, as well as a camel. Only 1 camel right now, so maybe just for scouting. We're going to see a forward town center here in a moment. 2 of them, in fact. Right in the front of the base here for Raven. 1 on stone, the other not on gold or anything. We see a monk getting some healing in on some scout cav. Joe spreading out the houses a bit. Getting town watch. Going into his own archer production. No crossbow, no bodkin for him yet though. The military numbers, Raven has quite the advantage here with 25 to 13. And that what if Joe does have are not fully upgraded, and this monk will be getting taken out here. Bodkin arrow is on the way. Needs crossbow still. Obviously hasn't happened yet. A lot of ranges, 4 ranges now. So nice quick walls over here, so that town center will go up. And Joe knows this is closed, so he's gonna try to break in, but it's only 2 vills that can, or 2 of those scouts that can attack. Spearman here, getting some nice hits in yet again. And a university coming in behind this. Camels looking to do damage. Hasn't happened yet. These camels walk in under the town center though. Not a single loss. Monastery. University. On to more stone here for Joe. So he has an idea of getting these Teuton farms to crazy good numbers. Will soon be 36 of those with heavy plow. And handcart coming in here for Raven. So he is down on the vills, but we'll have handcart coming in, which is always nice. And we will see that university coming in here as well for Raven now. So both players committing to range. Joe's food eco though, 35 on food compared to just the 19, which will soon be 23, is really starting to have quite the effect here, I think. So, wait and see what happens. The Spearmen take an insanely good exchange, only losing 1 it looks like. Relic number 1 coming in here. And the camels walk into the crossbows. Ballistics will be in first here for Raven. So Raven looking to extend the military position here with ballistics. Joe, I think, wants to go up. Yeah, he just sold food. Got some wood. Such a weird strategy altogether. Market abuse kind of confuses me sometimes, but he's still going to be able to click up here relatively soon. So, camel numbers going down quickly. And we have crossbow v crossbow. Ballistics for Raven, no ballistics for Joe. So, that is always an interesting position. But, he's going to back up. Raven doesn't want to continue the fight. Joe sold 500 wood and waited for a few seconds, and now he is on his way to the Imperial Age. And Raven, not so much. Raven is getting a lot of upgrades, is down by 13 villagers, but Siege Workshop coming up in defense, another archery range, and we are about to see a pretty good fight here. Ballistics versus no ballistics, so no ballistics versus ballistics now. Joe got ballistics. He's going for the hill here. He has taken quite a few losses, but all things considered, wanting to take the fight here, it seems, as he will do so. We do have some healing going on behind a few monks, but I'd say that Joe just took a pretty rough fight here. Especially for someone who is on the way to the Imperial Age. Guess he does get all his military cleaned up, though. More behind it, going into knights. Forward castle here for Joe, as he will kind of put it behind the stone and the gold. I think I would have liked to see it in front of, but there will be no contest on that, it doesn't look like, so that will likely go up as, oh man. Raven's gonna come out for a castle on the same part of the screen here. How many vills is he sending? Looks like a good healthy number. But I think both go up. Joe's getting masonry now. He's on his way to the Imperial Age. I think if you're Joe, you hope this goes up. And actually, they don't see it. They don't see each other's castles. So it will go up. And even at this point, it's a long way up. And now we will have a Treb queued immediately. Masonry is in, which is good for Joe. But Raven, not up to the next stage yet. We'll need to abuse the market and try to do something with that here. It's going to be super far behind. He's going to have to repair this castle for a long time. It is a Byzantine castle, so even with masonry already in, I'm about 5280 to 6240, and Imp's not even happened yet, so nonetheless, it is something that we'll have to pay attention to. We do see, again, a lot of barracks is coming down, so he's looking to go into more of the halberdier route, and the repairs are coming in now. The Byzantine castles are super hard to take down, though, so it is a problem. And even with another Treb popping out here, really going to need a couple more of them before it really becomes a problem. Even with only 5 vills repairing, you can see that it's not really been too hard to keep up. All he's got to do is pull a few more vills, and he can out-repair these 2 Trebs. Obviously, another one on its way. Joe using the market like crazy. You're gonna get Halberdier right after Pikeman Squires, and now Cavalier coming in. But on the other side, +2 defense, Thumb Ring, and soon to be Imperial. Not really anything else going on the mini-map right now. Elite Skirm. I mean, Joe is stacking into absolutely everything right now. I think just going Elite Skirm, Halb, or Elite Skirm, Cavalier would be fine. This castle is no longer being repaired, though, and Joe will take it out here. And that's all that castle had left in it. Joe immediately will come out for the resources here. And bit of an interesting position. This doesn't really secure but 1 golden stone pile. And we have knights here. Now Cavalier for Joe, as well as skirms coming. This is going to be an awkward fight. The Mangonel here going to try to get a bunch of damage in. Ends up getting 3 kills, but that's it. Cavalier not doing too well on that side, however. This is a fairly heavy skirm army. So Raven pushing this back here pretty comfortably. Another tower or castle incoming. More of a defensive position, of course. Joe up 131 vills to 101. He's getting a handcart now. Arbalest and Bracer coming in, though, here for a Byzantine player. So, skirms really paying off here. Joe actually coming out. He thinks he's going to take that gold, but unfortunately for him, he will realize that it is already being taken. Looks like they might actually just share this gold. Nope, Joe will opt for another castle there. This is very interesting. And I think he's going to get it up. There's been no reaction over here just yet. Military for our Byzantine player number, though, is 59 to 23 and dropping here. And it's going to be tough. Castle will go up, so this would be pretty devastating here to lose a lot of this eco. And he realizes in time, we'll pull it back. We'll just lose some spearmen. The camels are coming over. I don't really know. I see that the ones that to be taken. I don't know. Villagers on gold under a lot of threat here, and Joe will lose quite a few of those. Hoarding and foraging coming in for Joe now. Skirms will move into position, but still. A lot of vills have gone down. This is Mangonel still, so no onager tech yet this game. And we're going to see monks go for a conversion here on a skirm. Likely get it. Somehow it does not. Krebs come forward here, though. And the camels, oh, Joe's in trouble. Joe just doesn't have the military to deal with this. And these Trebs will go down. Treb number 1 here, Treb number 2 coming. More Trebs undoubtedly going to be coming forward here. And a lot of this is going to go down. Joe did get all the castle upgrades he could. Don't think Teuts get agriculture. Maybe they do, but that's either or agriculture. Architecture, the only upgrade he would be missing here. But military numbers starting to skyrocket here, but it's mostly Halb, Skirm for Joe. Meanwhile, it's mostly Skirm and a few Arb and Light Cav mixed in here for Raven. So rough position. And the Light Cav dive on to the Mangonel, and should be able to deal with a few of these skirms, but Halb are there. Castle does go down, and will that castle survive? It will, or the castle, will that Treb survive? It will not, neither will that one. Conversions coming in here. Villagers moving forward for Raven. Not really sure why, maybe just to delete those or fight, I don't know. And the Light Cav again, dive in. Castle up on the hill, no response just yet as to where they're going with that. Onager on its way in, and there is another castle here. Gonna come up for Raven. And the trash army doing the job here. Onager's not in yet. And it will get sniped before Onager comes in. So Joe will be pushed off of that stone, it looks like. That castle will go up. A lot of trash on the field dying. The Trebs go forward to the north. This will be 4 Trebs already firing uphill. A 5th one to add, but I don't even think the 5th one's going to get set up, but maybe to fire 1 volley here. And Joe is getting pushed back, going for a more defensive castle here. Castle is toast, and this Treb not even gonna get a shot off? Yeah, not even gonna get a shot off on that one. We do have the plate bombarding armor coming in here for our Byzantine player as well. So lots of progress for him, and this fight is not what Joe wants to be taking, as all of his skirms are just getting outnumbered. And the GG comes in. So Raven takes the set 2-0 here. GG. But there's more news, folks. We have more news. And that is simply that, unfortunately, due to outside factors, Raven cannot continue in the bracket. So, Joe will be receiving the admin win, and he will advance to the quarterfinals. We're going to update the bracket real quick. I actually already updated the bracket. Did this yesterday. Made a comment about it there as well if you weren't here. But Joe will end up winning with an admin win. Although Raven actually won the set, but unfortunately, like I said, due to outside factors, Raven will not be able to continue with us. Wish Raven the best. Hope all goes well. But yeah, he's out, and Joe will move on to face Funny Liquid. So all those games, the relic victory, screwing up game two, going back to game two, and then unfortunately Raven can't continue. Um, but he did actually knock Joe out, and then of course for the tournament to continue, it's going to let Joe move on, face up against Funny Liquid. Bit awkward, I know, but yeah, GG's. Again, wish Raven the best. Hope everything goes well, and hopefully see him back for the next one. He did say he was hoping to go deep in the tournament and hopes to win the next one. So best of luck to you there, sir. That's gonna do it for me. I have other things to attend to before I cast a best of 5 semifinal for the 1300 bracket this evening. And yeah, excuses. And then oh yeah, well I don't know if you've watched everything, if you're caught up, Hitch. With the 1300 bracket, I casted a semifinal yesterday, and I'm going to cast the other semifinal today, and then we'll be on to the final for the 1300 bracket already. And as you can see via the bracket here, we only have 3 more sets for the round of 16. Those have yet to be turned in. They have a few more days, I think. I haven't looked at the deadlines, so I haven't really been too worried about it. And then we'll be on to the semifinals for that as well. But all things considered, we have 6 more sets here and 2 more sets in the 1300 bracket. So a lot more games, obviously, but yeah, more to come, more to come. So watching this thing is impossible to keep track of with overlapping bracket. I feel you. I feel you. It has been a lot of hours, but I think the viewership had been up really, really well. And then of course I had a few days off and then it fell off. And obviously the number of games go down, the number of players left in the tournament has gone down, right? So things kind of dip. Um, but hey, it is what it is, and we'll go from there. But that's gonna do it for me, guys. I'm gonna get out of here, and I will catch you guys again soon. Have a good one.